In this video, we're going to take a look at the town of Bolgheri in Tuscany. Now, it's an interesting walk up to the town. I'm going to speed the video up about 5 times because it is a very long walk. Cheryl's riding her Whill Ci2, and while it's really quick, it's not this fast. It's all I can do to keep up with her when she's headed going somewhere in a hurry. We're going to slow down up here in just a second. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and you want to hit that little bell icon, because when you do that, you'll get notified when I make new videos. And also, it always helps us if you like the video, because that'll get the YouTube to share it with more people. We appreciate that. We slowed down to normal speed now, and as we're starting up, you can see me walking and looking at the various things. Marja, our guide, who did a great job as a tour guide for us. In fact, I'm kind of recreating her narrative because the camera didn't pick up the audio so well. But we're headed into this town, and we have this gate up ahead of us, and she was talking to us about that gate. And this is the entrance to this very old medieval village. It's called Bolgheri. The main building here was once the residence of a noble family. They owned much of the land around there. Although they no longer own it, the family still holds a significant historical importance. This village has a rich genealogical tradition, well known for its connections to notable women throughout history. So we're going to go up and we're going to head into the village. This village is famous for its numerous wine shops, or enotesh. You can taste various local specialties there. And Bolgheri is renowned for its wine production, particularly the Bolgheri DOC wines, which includes some of Italy's finest wines. This region is especially famous for producing the Super Tuscans, high-quality wines that have gained international acclaim. In the late 4th century, Bolgheri was primarily an agricultural village. That's what it started out with, farmers living there with farms all around. You can still see the old arched gates that have stood back since medieval times, in fact, since the 1400s. The cypress-lined road that we came up leading into town is one of the most iconic sites in Tuscany. It was immortalized by the poet Giuseppe Carducci in his poem Davanti San Guido. The mansion here was the original family mansion, and we're standing now kind of in front of what they call the new church. It's not new. It dates back to the 1700s, but it was not the original church. They added on to the original church to make it what they call the new church. Now where we are, you can see all of these trucks parked and driving through. What they're doing is they're bringing in merchandise to the stores in town. The streets are really narrow and cramped, so you don't have a lot of opportunity to park in town, which is why we parked where we did. The gate that we walked through is not a true arch. It's actually what they call a bow gate. It was very typical, but they were able to secure this place where invading forces would have a difficult time entering. It was easy to protect, and the farmers and pretty much everybody lived inside this compound. It was interesting, this church I'm taking pictures of the sign there on was used for a family, for a wedding for a family member of the new owners of that manor house. And she got married there. In fact, our guide Marcia was there at about the time of the wedding leading a group of tourists to go through it. It's kind of interesting that every little street in Bolgheri has a name. Often they're named after notable residents. This square that we're in right now is called Teresa Square, named after a woman who lived here. She wasn't particularly famous, but this was where the farmers' houses were located. In the 1700s and 1800s, many women in these villages often referred to as maestra, meaning elementary teachers. And it's interesting because they played a crucial role in educating children. They taught basic reading and writing at a time when much of Europe's population was illiterate. This educational effort created a significant difference in habits and mentality between the northern and southern parts of Italy. The South was under Spanish rule for many centuries, which led to a different development pattern. In the South, the rich families controlled the land and kept the peasant population largely uneducated to maintain control. This lack of education and governmental oversight contributed to the rise of the mafia in Sicily, which filled the void left by the absent government. When Garibaldi, the general who unified Italy in 1859, arrived in Sicily, many locals didn't understand the concept of Italy as a unified nation. In fact, many Sicilian families immigrated to the United States, and their descendants would often return decades later speaking an old Sicilian dialect that was no longer understood in the rest of Italy. In addition to its historical significance, Bolgheri is also known for its natural beauty, charming streets. Walking through the village, you can see traditional stone houses, narrow alleys, and beautiful gardens. The Bolgheri Castle, dating back to the 12th century, is a prominent landmark that dominates the village. This castle was built to protect the village from invasions and has been well preserved over the centuries. Bolgheri also has a strong connection to the arts. Over the years, it's inspired many artists, poets, and writers who found inspiration in its picturesque views. The village hosts various cultural events and festivals throughout the year, celebrating its artistic heritage and local traditions. One of the highlights of visiting Bolgheri is the opportunity to explore its wine cellars and vineyards. The region's unique microclimate and terrain is characterized by its proximity to the Tyrrhenian Sea, and its diverse soil types creates ideal conditions for growing high-quality grapes. Wine enthusiasts can enjoy guided tours of the vineyards, wine tastings, and even participate in harvest grape picking season. As we continue our tour, you'll notice a strong sense of community in Bolgheri. Locals are proud of their heritage and are passionate about preserving the village's traditions and culture. Many of the shops and restaurants in Bolgheri are family-owned, offering visitors an authentic taste of Tuscan hospitality. Do me a favor, if you think this is a place you'd like to visit, let me know in the comments. If you've ever been to Bolgheri, especially, please let me know in the comments. Now, we really appreciate you joining us for this first part of our tour of Bolgheri. There'll be some more segments coming up. In just a second, you're going to see a screen with a picture of my face on the left side. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you can click on that. It'll subscribe you. The box on the right has a playlist of other videos that I think you might enjoy. We'll see you in the next video.